Hi everybody, it's your girl Diamond. I'm back with an all-new episode of Family and Fiancé. But first, let's give a happy birthday to me. I just turned 28, August 1st, Leo gang all day. So happy. I'm on cloud nine because I'm just thankful for another year and just really happy and grateful. But as far as being grateful of being here for another year, I'm happy I got a chance to watch this episode because this episode was a lot. And I want to be very careful in how I wrote these notes because it was a lot to cover. So we're starting with Renata and Christian. In the beginning, when I first saw Renata and Christian, I thought these were two women because Christian has a very feminine and masculine face. His bone structure is really, really beautiful, but he gives out this androgynous feel, like a feminine wild to him. So, I don't know. Maybe it goes both ways. I don't know. But Renata and Christian, they're engaged. They did not acknowledge or express on how long they've been together and the engagement. All it said was how they met and they're engaged. They met on one of those freaky groups on Facebook. In addition to how they met, they also want to invite somebody into their bedroom and pretty much invite somebody permanently to keep it spicy. As it turns out, it's a little bit difficult than they thought it was going to be. Both families have both said that their way of the relationship is really chaotic and very unorthodox. Christian wants to find a better way to communicate how their life is and wants it to be, corrected and wanted to be understood. So we're meeting with Tracy. In the beginning, they both wanted to be in a polyamorous relationship. Tracy's like, okay, that's cool, but what's going to happen if you guys was to bring in a child and you're at home with a baby and Chris is out with someone else? You will feel left out, right? So why get married? But then, of course, they both come from marriage, in the background, so they wanted to make it right. So then, come to find out, in the midst of trying to make it right, in the midst of opening their relationship, they've opened to their relationship to some other person that is in love with Christian, his best friend Mona, who happens to be the woman who's coming in on his side. We got his mom and we got his other best friend, but the relationship / lover, that's a whole different story right there. On Renata's side, we got her cousin Beverly, her other cousin Ricky, and her best friend. So then, of course, we're coming to find out exactly what's happening, okay? Then it's been said on the car ride and in the session that there's conflict between Mona and Renata. Turns out, Christian had just crossed that path of being intimate with Mona. In the midst of being intimate with Mona, they have also been intimate with Renata. All three of them have been intimate with each other. But it's kind of gotten stagnant on Renata's participation because Mona is in love with Christian. Christian's not going to see it because he doesn't believe it. But we're going to find out why he doesn't. And, she didn't sign up on somebody to just be with him all the time. If you want to be in this polyamorous relationship or be in this threesome or one night stand that we do, you got to be attracted to all of us. You can't just have him to yourself. But we're going to find out more because there is a lot. So Chris' family comes in. Everybody says hello. But like I said, the main issues are between Mona and Renata. And Christian's mom wants Chris to hold on to Renata because she is the best thing that's ever happened to them, and she doesn't want him to ruin things. Renata's family arrived is still happy smiles. Pretty much both families are very well known with each other. They're very comfortable. They're very inviting. So it's nothing that's been said against, if the families don't get along. The main factor is, Christian, you have a woman that you want to marry, but then you want to constantly keep this relationship with Mona active, but you're not putting her first, you're putting Mona first. And then, of course, Renata's cousins are old school, so of course they're looking at it as not being traditional, not the right way. So we get to the meeting where everybody expresses their concerns. The mom, she loves Renata, but her concern is Renata is too forgiving and giving. So she's forgiven Christian for a number of times. How long is she going to forgive him? Because it's wearing thin. Mona, the best friend / lover, doesn't believe that they are ready for marriage. And Christian has had a lot of open relationships with other people, and maybe that's not something he wants to give up. And she believes that both Christian and Renata are not happy. Sonica, the other best friend, her concern is if you guys are going to be married, Renata should be the priority. Separate her from the other women and don't, and you don't spend enough time with her, and you need to be respectful. You're not respecting her. So we get to Renata's side, the best friend Kim. Her concern is the idea of an open marriage. Did you leave the open marriage idea once you propose, or you guys are coming into that with the open marriage? Ricky's cousin, he pretty much asked the same thing. Of course, he wants to know, is it true that you guys have had a girlfriend? And are you guys going to continue with the girlfriend, or you guys are going to cease it and go about the regular way, which is settle down, have a family? So then, of course, it's been expressed that Mona is in love with Christian. And then, like I said, Renata did not sign up for someone who wants to be with him all the time. And that's kind of why you don't go seeking for a partner. So Tracy gave 2 tasks to Christian and Renata. Christian is to play an importance, least importance to most important game, where we want to know where his priorities are in life and what choices will he make. Renata's is Tower of Truth. If I'm saying it right, no, Time for Truth, where then they write basic questions, she answers them truthfully. So we get to the task. Christian wrote money, kids, career, and social life, and monogamy to be last. He said money is the most important part because without it, you can't make nothing happen. Kids are important to him, but money is the sole root that keeps everything. Roof over your head, food in your belly, kids, Wi-Fi, kids, cell phones. And monogamy is last because they haven't worked well. When I saw he put money first, kids second, I was like, I don't know. Something's telling me, even though he said kids are important, I don't know if Renata and Christian have had other outside kids before they got together. But the fact is that you can only name the not the materialistic, but the pretty much the obvious uses that we have, which is Wi-Fi and cell phones. But if you want to be sure that your kids are good, then you need to make sure the kids are happy with the arrangement that you're setting with Renata and yourself. You know what I'm saying? What do these things, go? How do we go about these things? So money first is like, well, what do you exactly do with it? Because apparently he has a whole lot of businesses and he travels a lot. So how is he managing his money right? But the way that it did, I really wasn't resonating with that. So Renata was asked, are you really ready to marry a man that likes to be with more than one woman? She said, she is, but she has, in time where they were, into the whole polygamy, she has taken a step back and participating because he has developed his own relationships with the women, and she kind of like, been isolated from them, which do suck. How is that you're going to come into a situation with 2 people, but you only want to deal with the first one? Strings or like feelings get involved. The cousin had me laughing. The cousin asked, does Mona know her place? And is she a pimp? Christian said he do. She do know her place. But apparently it's like, I'm not seeing it. And how much longer can Renata put up with the BS? She said a couple of weeks ago she was ready to go. She's ready to be done. And she wants Christian to focus on them. But if he's going to feel like if they're just them two, then it gets boring. He needs to go find something else to just get out of the state of boredom. You mean tell me you being in a simple, I don't know what else to call your relationship if you don't want to be monogamous, but if you do want to spend the rest of your life with this woman, why is that being with just her be boring? I don't understand that. Mona asked, do you believe that Christian can't stop doing what he's doing for you? Renata would have just liked that they met somebody on a whim and did a one-night stand thing, no strings attached, no feelings, which is cool. Christian, she wants him to recognize that he got something good on his arm, you know what I'm saying? And, he takes advantage of the fact that Renata's going to be there, defending him, believing him, trusting him, forgiving him. But she's like, I'm not going to always be there. And, Renata is at a breaking point where she wants to, go things a different way with him. It was asked to Christian, how do you feel about Renata? He loves her. He doesn't want to lose her. Then there was a question by the cousin again. How does Mona feel about you? She feels the same way. She loves him, don't want to lose him. It goes wrong because Mona only wants to love Christian. She doesn't want to love Renata. Then, of course, it's the whole thing about him being away all the time. I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but since he's gone all the time, he has a cleaning business. I believe he's a musician. He's an entrepreneur, and he also has cleaning, entrepreneur, musician. Okay, I already said that. But the cousin did ask, how come you're so gone, but you don't come to family events with Renata? And then it's been asked, will you come back just to like be with her? He said yes, but he said he's giving up a lot for Renata, but I don't know what else he's giving up. And then the whole thing with Mona. You know what I'm saying? Will you give her up? He said you didn't give up Ramona. She came with the situation. You know what I'm saying? She was always waiting in line for her to be next with Christian. So she just came whenever she wanted to. Then it's the whole point of Renata not feeling respected. There's no boundaries being met. Mona can feel and say what she wants to do because she's Christian's friend. But if you also develop a relationship with Renata, she should be respected and her feelings are valid too. Then, of course, she's even pointed out, if Renata and Christian was to never get married, you're going to always be his friend. But that's all you're going to be. You're not going to be the main one. You're not going to be the one that got away. You're not. And that's how the war pretty much starts. You know what I'm saying? Mona will always wait for Christian to say go, and she will do it. Because apparently there's no boundaries being met. Even if it comes to the point where Christian and Renata chilling at the house, but he wants company, she says no, he will still call up Mona and Mona will come running. And Mona is not recognizing the fact that Renata is the fiance. She's the one that she said yes to. So you need to respect her. And then consider the fact that, Christian and Mona have already been friends in the beginning. So, of course, she feels like she has a leg up against Renata. But you're not the main one. You're just the mistress. The mistress who will never get the ring. Never. Then, of course, like I said, he asked Renata to marry. He did not ask Mona. Sonica feels like if Mona wasn't there, then they wouldn't have these problems. Even though the entire time of the episode, the mom is saying how she feels about Mona, the other best friend is saying how she feels about Mona, and Mona is sitting on the opposite end of the couch, taking it all in, feeling some type of way. But I feel like at some point in time, you feel like you can't be told. You need to take a step back, or you need to let Renata and Christian figure out their relationship. They don't need you over here. You know what I'm saying? But you feel like because you best friend, you're going to always be there. You have a leg up into how things are going to go. You don't. So after that, the mom pretty much checks Christian. Tries to. But he's laughing, being goofy, making up scenes, mimicking his mom back and forth. And she's like, bruh, you got these two women fighting over you. You breaking their hearts. You need to fix it. He thinks it's funny. He keep on saying, you on the outside. You on the outside, which means you only seen what you think you seen. You don't know the full story. She said, I don't know the ins and outs. Please help me understand. Because what I'm seeing is you choosing another woman over the woman that you have already said you want to marry. What does this woman have over the one that you said was the one? What does she have? Then, of course, it probably calmed down because he was being disrespectful. He wasn't listening. So he come outside to the patio, and he said he never expected for hearts to be hurt in this process. And when it came down to the person he wants to be with, he told Mona who he was going to be with and what was going to happen. She had a choice to stay with it or move on. I'm like, okay, you sure about that? Because everybody else is around you saying Mona is in love with you. She would literally do everything for you. We get to the family dinner. They talk about the questions that was asked. And Renata's family could easily see how Mona is in love with him, much so as Christian is. And she ain't going nowhere. Christian didn't even tell Mona he got engaged. Because they were like, so that's the problem right there. You keep on trying to protect her feelings and letting Renata be the bad guy of it, which isn't cool. And then, by the time he did tell her, Mona was hurt. Renata feels like she's been missing something. The affection, the love, the time. And it's like, where's the love? Christian said he chose Renata knowing that he heard Mona. Mona took a step back in their relationship to make sure that that's what he wanted to do because she wanted to follow what Christian said. But he still wants to make sure Mona was okay. You just dropped the biggest bomb. You're marrying a woman in the midst of you still having relations with the other woman who is your best friend. And the fact that you did not keep her up on game and say, you know what, we've had our fun, but I'm getting married for starting a new life. Either we're going to have to pump the brakes or we're not going to be cool at all. Then Mona believes that Christian can't cut off everybody to make Renata happy. She pretty much said we're not going to have a cheating husband because she doesn't believe Christian can be faithful. I'm like, ooh, Lord have mercy. So after pretty much all of that, it's like, what's going to happen in this moment? It's going to be the same thing. Mona, you're not going to be the main one in Christian's life. That's been said to you. But of course, he's still not trying to hurt your feelings and say, I don't want you to be behind. So then, of course, it's been like a pause. So now Renata's in the hot tub with her cousin. And it's pretty much been noticed that Christian wants to protect Mona at every cost. Whenever someone mentions her name or mentions what she does with her position, he covers it and quickly says, my friend, she's going to be there for me. It is what it is. What we have is unorthodox. What we have is amazing. And that's what Renata is missing. You don't praise Renata the way you praise Mona. Then at the end of the day, she believes that Mona won the ring. And she said Christian is emotionally engaged and lonely. He needs other women to fulfill him. We find out more where that fulfillment came from. So we get to the second day, which is another session with Tracy. They talked about the task and how difficult it was in the relationship. And Renata was so worried about other people's feelings instead of hers. And Christian is still dumbfounded about how folks don't understand how Mona is in love with him. Renata expressed the fact the reason why you don't see that is because she worships you like a god. She worships the ground you walk on. I've already said in the beginning, if you guys are not having a good time, but you still want that itch to scratch, you can call her Mona. She'll be right there on her way. She's probably 5 minutes away from parking and say, I'm here. And then, then Renata expresses like, you look like I literally just said it. And now I'm stuck. And he said, you don't look at me like that. I don't look at you as a god. I look at you as my equal. And that really resonated with Tracy. You said, see, that's not healthy. That's not healthy. You can't be with someone who only puts you on a pedestal. But everybody else around you isn't good enough for her to add on to the pedestal because you're the main one on the throne. That's not good. You need to define what your poly relationship is and what's it going to be. And Mona is a very deep hindrance and she needs to be addressed. She needs to be gone. Break up with Mona. Obviously, Christian did not like that. Because the whole best friend thing, lover thing, he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. I feel like whoop the fucking do. Because Mona is coming from a position where if anybody else was to come and get Christian, she could still have a connection to him. It's a soul tie to that. You know what I'm saying? So they talked to Mona. Expressed that, being in a relationship with you is hindering us and we need to move forward. And, it has brought anguish to Renata. She feels like, first of all, oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't wait to get over this. I'm sorry. I'm sleepy. But she said, I don't feel like I should be the blame for this. He said, nobody's blaming you, but you have been the main one that has been the common denominator of how our relationship needs to go. And we need to focus on us. And as soon as focus on us, we need to not have no outside factors in. She calls them weak and calls Christian fake and said that they're in a relationship for the wrong reasons and cries and leaves. Christian now see what everybody else is telling him because he thought that she would have took it better, took it like a G and said, all right, I see what y'all do. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all move on because of how she took him proposing to Renata. He said she took a step back. I'm like, she didn't take no step back. She just told you took a step back. In the inside, she was spewing and mad, making side comments left and right. So, yeah, you were definitely blind for that. Then, of course, they have to break up with someone that they both cared and loved for. And Mona was like, "Why did you bring me here? Did you bring me just to hurt me?" He said, "No, I brought you here to right my wrongs." And then she asked, "Is it real?" He's like, "Yes," but Chris didn't like that what she said at the table last night, how Renate's gonna have a cheating husband because Christian can't be faithful. He said, "How you say you can't be faithful?" Because you can't. You can't be faithful at all to no woman, even not even me. You can't be faithful. You're gonna always find some other way to come back to me. Christian's mom calls Mona a pet project, a Frankenstein monster. And then she made a Frankenstein monster you can't control. Then she named a generational curse horror mongering. I'm like, the mom does not see it for Mona. She really doesn't like Mona at all. Then of course, Mona, she understands, but she doesn't feel like you need to change it because at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all got going on. Y'all do you. I just want to be able to still fuck you and go home. Christian said, can't do that. We need to move forward without Mona, and he tells her to leave. Mona leaves, but believes that Christian is not going to change. So in the session with Tracy, she refers him to Dr. Allie, who is an expert in non-traditional relationships. So she asked, how would y'all expect the outcome would have been if it was different? The outcome would have been they are married, and if they want to do something spicy to spice up the bedroom to kink it up, then they will both decide on how to go about it. It won't be just him and her. It will be both. Then, of course, Renata has this tough exterior of being an alpha female and being strong for everybody, but not expressing the fact that I'm alone. I'm vulnerable. I need you to hold me. I need you to support me. I'm having a hard time. I'm having stress, and I'm pulling away from you. I need you close. I feel like we're drifting. Christian's mom recognized that on how, people are telling her that she's so tough. She has to be tough, knowing that she's not being tough. She's just faking it. And, she's really hurt. We can't be fighting against each other. And then, of course, boundaries need to be taking place. If they meet somebody, it will be pretty much like a one-night stand or a one-weekend thing, not be someone who has an emotional tie to them. So we get to the last session with Tracy. They talk about the breakup with Mona and how she took it, and how pretty much Mona was being set a boundary in front of Renata, and she couldn't handle it. Christian said that Mona didn't like the fact that she was told to, take a step back in front of Renata. Christian and Mona might have like a other secret relationship going on when Renata's not around. Then Renata's boundary is, if this continues, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to share you every time. I ain't got no problem bringing out the kicks every once in a while, but to do it every time to bring someone in, no, not doing it. Not doing it. Then I want us to focus. When they got together, it was always a third party. They never had the time to connect with just them two, which is sad to say. If they want to invite somebody, they have to wait until they repair themselves first. So we get to the blessing ceremony. Everybody on each side, excluding Mona because she left, they said yes. But it went by so fast that I saw this snippet or this statement. I had to rewind it like 5 times just to get it to say it. So they want to plan the wedding, but Renata also found out that Christian was still seeing Mona. So I have no idea if the wedding is off, but they just put that simple statement. Christian was still seeing Mona, and Renata found out. So I don't know what else happened. But at the same point in time, I feel like, Christian, you don't know what you want. I think you want the idea of marriage. You just don't want it to take away what you like to do. You like to have sex with other women, but still keep the one woman that you want to be with on standby. You can't do that, especially if you want to still have a relationship with other women. Renata needs to be the main and only one. But Renata might have to just go ahead and find something better for herself. And Mona, she going to still be that mistress on standby. Whenever you say jump, she going to say how high. But she'll never be that one. She going to be just the best friend that got looked over, fucked a few times, and then that's it. You are just a go-between when he wants to, release some stress, release an outlet. But the main one that he wants to be seen in public with and everything else, see a future with, is not going to be her. But that's it, y'all. That's all I have. This was a really good episode, and they're coming in hot with this one. I'm excited for more. But you guys have a good day. And again, happy birthday to me. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.